Top of the morning to you on this Tuesday, November 18th. I'm Joe Lair bringing you the Morning Buzzcast. I hope to see many of you in New York City this week at either Media Innovators later today or Dealmakers tomorrow. On Thursday, we also have New Voices Under 30, and on Friday, 40 Under 40. I'm still angling for a Saturday event honoring 7 leaders under 67, but really that would just be to appease my kids. By the way, college basketball may never be the same given the highlights I've seen of fans and at times players celebrating wildly at a team reaching 67 points. But I digress. Later today, I'm moderating 2 great panels at Media Innovators, one on the ways partnerships can help drive fan engagement. Executives from Amazon, FanDuel, and the FanDuel Sports Network will sit on that one. And then later on the impact AI is having on the delivery of media content, with MLB, the NBA, the PGA Tour, and Genius Sports all joining that conversation. A few other high-profile sessions of note include Abe Madkor's Fireside chat with USA Sports President Matt Hong and a panel on the role of YouTube in sports with original House of Highlights creator Omar Raja, now of ESPN, as well as Brooklyn Sports and Entertainment, NASCAR, and the CEO of Dude Perfect. 2 U.S. governing bodies filled key positions on Monday. In tennis, the USTA named Eric Buderak as its new U.S. Open director, replacing Stacey Alister, who had stated that this most recent tournament would be her last in a daily management role. She remains the chief executive for Pro Tennis for another 6 months before shifting into an advisory role. Buderak, meanwhile, had been serving as U.S. Open Senior Director, Player Relations and Business Development. One key initiative he led last year was the reimagined mixed doubles format. Replacing the event during Fan Week, ahead of the event's fortnight of singles, many of the top stars participated in Arthur Ashe Stadium, sold out multiple sessions. Buderak, who's ranked as high as 17th in the world in doubles as a player, joined the USTA in 2016 and will still report to Alister on U.S. Open matters for now, but his promotion carries a second title elevation to Managing Director, Tennis Business Development. On those matters, he'll report to Chief Commercial Officer Kirsten Corio. Our Rob Schaefer spoke to Buderak, and you can read that and more on sportsbusinessjournal.com. The U.S. Soccer Federation has hired its first chief operating officer, filling the position with Dan Helfrich, who had been CEO of Deloitte Consulting. He has been tasked with improving business practices, particularly with next year's FIFA Men's World Cup, the LA 28 Olympics, and the 2031 Women's World Cup, all on U.S. soil. Helfrich is not a total outsider to the sport. He played Division I soccer at Georgetown and has chaired an NCAA committee to modernize the college game. U.S. soccer is already beginning to reap the benefits of the major events on the docket, with its revenue rising to more than $260 million in the 2025 fiscal year, a 37% improvement year over year. Though there remains some general concern about the current administration's view toward border entry in terms of the possible impact it may have on next summer's FIFA Men's World Cup, as well as those other events. On next summer's FIFA Men's World Cup, the LA 28 Olympics, and more, President Trump did announce on Monday a FIFA Pass system to enable prioritized visa interviews for World Cup ticket holders. The wait time is 6 days or fewer for most applicants. The process remains the same, but an additional 400 consular officials are being added to help review them. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said staffing doubled in some countries. FIFA President Gianni Infantino estimated between 5 and 10 million people will travel to the U.S. for the World Cup. The Women's Pro Baseball League will play its debut 2026 season in Springfield, Illinois, at Robin Roberts Stadium, a central geographic hub serving as a neutral site for the original 4 franchises, nominally based in Boston, New York, Los Angeles, and San Francisco. The 5,200-seat park is operated by Golden Rule Entertainment, which will also launch a developmental league in 2027. The stadium received a new LED video board, and more renovations are planned prior to the August 1st opening day. Its first draft is this Thursday, November 20th, and will be streamed live via YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. The University of Arizona has signed a 20-year stadium naming rights deal with Casino del Sol, our Ben Portnoy reports, for a total north of $60 million, or about $3 million per year. It's believed to be the largest such deal in Big 12 history and provides a steady new revenue stream. As Arizona Athletic Director Desiree Reed-Francois told SBJ, the cost of running an athletic department has gone up. It's worth highlighting that the deal was negotiated by Arizona Sports Enterprises. the in-house partnerships arm of the athletic department. The Wildcats brought that function back into their own athletic department after most recently using Learfield in that role. The Big 12, meanwhile, does not seem likely to proceed with its proposed $2.4 billion investment anytime soon. The University of California Pension Systems Investment Fund had planned to make that major capital infusion into Big Ten Enterprises, which would be a newly created commercial arm of the conference to manage sponsorships, media rights, and more. But the chief investment officer of the fund wrote on Monday that the deal really needs to be unanimous among the 18 league schools, and so far Michigan and USC have thus far dissented. Without their participation, additional due diligence would be required, and quite frankly, the value of the deal might change substantially. Relatedly, Senator Maria Cantwell of Washington wrote a letter on Monday to the head of the Congressional Joint Committee on Taxation, noting that legitimate questions have been raised about the tax-exempt status of college sports. She cited the Big Ten's proposed multi-billion-dollar deal as prompting additional scrutiny because the spin-out of a for-profit business subsidiary meant the endeavor was no longer quite so substantially linked to the academic mission of the universities. Continuing with college sports, former Penn State football coach James Franklin, who was fired 5 weeks ago despite a $49 million buyout, is already employed again. Virginia Tech announced its hiring on Monday, and critically, sources told ESPN that the buyout was renegotiated down to just $9 million, a $40 million savings. Lane Kiffin, meanwhile, continues to get courted by major programs after leading Ole Miss to its 10th win over the weekend. The Athletic reported that Ole Miss has asked Kiffin for an answer by the November 28th Egg Bowl against rival Mississippi State to determine whether he'll stay. Both Florida and LSU have been recruiting him. LSU, of course, has a major coaching buyout to contend with of its own. It is said to owe Brian Kelly $54 million, but it is trying to renegotiate that amount while Kelly has sued the school for the full compensation. This year's Baseball Hall of Fame ballot was released yesterday with Cole Hamels, Ryan Braun, and Matt Kemp as the most prominent newcomers to join Carlos Beltran, Andrew Jones, Chase Utley, and several other contenders who are returning. It remains just about the highest honor of a sports writer to vote for the Hall, and I look forward to doing so again this winter. That's all the news for today. If you see Austin Karp and me quarreling later today, it's simply because we'll be debating ACC football. Against all odds, our two alma maters, Georgia Tech for him, Virginia for me, are atop the conference standings right now. I'll need a fact check here, but this probably hasn't happened since 1990, when UVA was number 1 in the country, but lost a thriller to number 16 Georgia Tech as it went on to win a mythical national championship. Here's hoping for some 35-year-old revenge in the ACC title game. Thanks for tuning in to the Morning Buzzcast. I'm Joe Lair, wishing you a great week.